The education system is the reason why you have no social life. Imagine the boy you used to be. You were constantly talking to new people, making new friends, and then the teacher comes along and punishes you for talking in class. From the very beginning, you were programmed unsolicitedly to being this taciturn social NPC where you have no real friendships. So in this video, I want to cover exactly what school actually does to turn you into this level 0 where you can't talk to anyone, and exactly how to counter it. First and foremost, my name is Prince, and 2 months ago, I completely decided to dedicate myself to my social life. I learned how to talk to strangers on the street, in the gym, in any environment. And after learning that skill, I feel like I'm the one who's responsible for helping other people climb up this mountain of learning how to enhance your vocabulary, your speaking skills, etc. And I want you to do something for me. So right now, scroll down and tap the subscribe button and like the video actually if you like it. Because when you do that, it boosts the algorithm into showing this video to more people, so more people can actually learn how to be social, and you'll actually meet more people who are like you. You want to learn how to talk to people and be fun to be around. So what does the school system do that's so incredibly destructive? It validates silence. When you're a child, validation is like a drug. If your son is playing the piano, you say, good job, you played really good. You don't say, you could have played that better, you're doing it all wrong. Then he's just gonna associate the piano with negativity and he won't want to do it, right? So it's the same thing with school. If you praise a child for being silent in class and not making any friends and just being this guy who studies all the time and doesn't talk to anyone, of course that child is going to end up a bit like messed up in that. He won't be able to talk to people or associate with others. He won't be able to fit into a group because since he was young, he was literally taught to not talk to people. So of course he's going to end up like that. And it's so incredibly wrong to do that. Especially when you're a child. When you're a child, you have the most energy. Of course, you want to jump around, talk to people, do exercise, and you're literally conditioned, like livestock, to do the complete opposite, to do exactly what you don't want to do. To sit still, to be silent, to not talk to anyone, to just listen to what the teacher does, which is another topic in of itself. Being submissive when you're a man, it's weird. And just note things down. And literally have no life outside of studying. It's completely ludicrous. And it's one of the main systems in place in the education system in school that makes it so it's so incredibly difficult to kind of change your beliefs in order to become a social person. Not only do you have that handicap from the education system, but now you're also told that no, you just can't talk to people because you're an introvert. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The reason why you can't talk to people is because you weren't blessed when you were born to be an extroverted person, which is complete bullshit. An introvert can be extroverted, an extrovert can be extroverted as well, obviously. Both people can be social. It's not that you're born in a certain way where you can't talk to people. Unless you have some sort of brain problem, that doesn't happen. So if you're an introvert like me, you can talk to people. It may be a little bit more draining, but you certainly can, and it's completely necessary because humans are obviously social creatures. We need social connection. But that's not the end of the spectrum. Not only does school validate you for being silent and not having a social life and to just sit still, not talk to anyone and just answer questions, maybe write down notes. Not only that, which is already bad, but it also punishes talking. So if you talk in class, for example, you will get punished for doing so. You may get sent out, you may be told to stop talking in front of the entire classroom, so now you're embarrassed. There's the extra added sense of negativity, embarrassment, feeling like you're outside of the group, humiliated. So not only are you validated for being silent, you're punished for talking. And of course, again, punishment is accelerated incredibly when you're a child. If you get punished when you're young, the effects are completely exaggerated. It's not the same when you're an adult or even maybe a teen. You can imagine you talk to someone new in the classroom, it's fun, And then the teacher says, stop talking. You're interrupting the lesson. And then now you need to stop talking to this person, and you're kind of in the state of mind of, first, embarrassment. Everyone is looking at you. Second of all, well, now you're kind of being taught to not talk to people. And the thing is, you're being punished from these teachers who, they are meant to be role models, but if you actually look at what teachers do in day-to-day life, they actually aren't really that special. A lot of them drink alcohol, stay up late. A lot of them actually do drugs, which is really concerning. For these teachers as role models, it's not a good look. It's really not. So you're being punished by these people who, a lot of them, literally have mental deficiencies, are on some sort of pill. It's disgusting. A lot of people also say that school prepares you for the real world, which is completely untrue, by the way, because the thing is, school is a very controlled and closed environment, which means you're going to the same place every day, and that you always see the same people every day. And unless you want to live like a worker ant, which you probably don't, it's not realistic at all. It completely perverts the way you perceive the world, because that's not how the world really works. In school, if you embarrass yourself, all of the students will remember it. Well, most likely they won't, but everyone sees that, and you see the same people every single day. So it kind of negatively impact your conscience for the entire time you're there, because you're always going to see those people. However, in the real world, let's say you go and cold approach somebody and you embarrass yourself, you stumble over your words, you mess up. Most likely, you aren't going to see them again. It's not going to affect you in the future. You can embarrass yourself in public, it's fine. No one remembers. Most people probably won't even remember your face, and you won't even see the people you embarrassed yourself in front of. So it's not true at all. Unless you're working in some office or some physical job, like retail even, it most likely won't happen. It's just not real. So school is not really any sort of example of what the real world would actually be like at all. And how this negatively impacts your social life and your social skills is it makes you believe that I'm assuming that you're past high school, it makes you perceive that in the real world that you're now in, people still judge you the same. There's still the same risk of embarrassment and perpetual shame when you go outside, because you're going to see the same people. But the thing is, you won't see the same people, and that's not realistic at all. Most of the times you go outside, you're going to see completely new people, unless you live in some town. But if you live in some city, you're going to see different people every single day. You aren't going to run across the same people, and even if you do, they probably don't care at all. If you embarrass yourself, it's fine. In school, yeah, there's a bit more consequence. In your environment, you may have your reputation a little ruined, but in the real world, you aren't tied to a certain place. If you embarrass yourself in the gym, well, you can just swap gyms, or you can go at a different time, it's fine. And something crucial is that school literally, I know you won't believe this, but it quite literally punishes a victim of bullying more than it punishes the bully. So let's say you're being bullied. I've had a friend who was bullied once. He was literally getting assaulted by this other kid. He was bullied, it sucked for him. He constantly asked the teachers for help every single day. The teachers did nothing. They said, no, we'll sort it out. Don't worry, guys, it's fine. The teachers did absolutely nothing. But truthfully, can you blame them? Not really. What can they do? They can expel the student, but most schools don't even expel. Expelling is permanent, so you can't go to the school ever again. Most likely, they'll suspend him for a few days. Wow, you're safe for a few days. How magnificent. What a game changer. School can't do anything. Nothing at all. If their parents won't do anything, that's it. You're going to just get bullied the entire time. So of course, in this situation, you need to defend yourself, right? You need to go out of your way to fight back, protect yourself. Don't just let yourself get bullied. If you defend yourself, you will literally get attacked more from their school system, from your teachers, from the principal, everyone, than the bully himself. I've seen it happen to people. I've done it myself. I got in more trouble somehow. Complete insanity. School trains you to be a little pussy and not defend yourself. You want to let that sink in. School literally attacks you for fighting back. So what do you expect to happen when you're now an adult with all of these values instilled in you? Never fight back if someone attacks you. Never talk to people. Be silent and submissive and listen to other people who you don't even want to listen to, who aren't even respectable members of society. Of course you're going to end up this guy who has no social life, who can't talk to people, who can't defend himself. Of course that's going to... I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. So how do you fight back? What can you do to completely 180 your social life, to make new friends so you don't need to struggle with this? I'll tell you, because I've done it myself. It was very difficult though, and it's nothing easy. Now, if you look at the top link in the description, I have a social protocol. It's a course, it's not free by the way, it's a course that will speed run your journey from being a level 0 to a level 2, where you can talk to any man at any time, no matter what. It speeds up your journey, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly not easy. The amount of fear that's going to be running through your head and your body when you try and accent the steps in the social protocol are drowning. It's not easy in any regard. It's very difficult to go up to some random girl in the gym and say, hey, you're pretty. It's very difficult. It seems easy right now, but it's very difficult, and you've probably wanted to do that a few times and messed up. It's not easy whatsoever. And the only way you're going to do it is through repetition. And now I'll give you some of the tips that I've learned personally that will speed up this journey and allow you to actually begin. First of all, progressive overloading. It's the most important tactic. I always diagnose this to anyone. I've had friends who are normally social and then maybe they messed up, some bad event happened and it ruined their ego and now they can't talk to people again. I've always diagnosed progressive overload. Just progressively overload, guys. It's the panacea to everything. Just progressively overload. And now I'll tell you what this is. Progressively overloading is a term used in the gym. So let's say you walk into the gym, you've never worked out before, you have no muscles. I do have muscles, by the way, just so you know. You have no muscles and you want to do bicep curls. When you're doing bicep curls, you don't just immediately go to like 25 kg bicep curl in each hand. That's not how it works, because you have no muscles. You can't do that, bro. You aren't at that level yet. You need to slowly work up. So when you go to the gym for the first time, maybe you start off with just like the 5 kgs. And you can only do that 12 times. Okay, work up again. Now you've grown muscles, you can do like 7 kg now. Work up again, now you can do 10 kg. And eventually, through many weeks of doing this and building more muscle, you can finally do like 25 kg bicep curls in each hand. That's what you need to do with socializing. You don't just go from never talking to people, being this like introverted guy who never talks to people, who's like mysterious, to just immediately going from like being in this really precarious situation where everyone is watching and then going up to your crush and walking all confidently and saying, hey beautiful. That just doesn't happen. You need to slowly work up. Here's how I suggest working up. First of all, just say hello to people on the street. Go about your regular day-to-day life. You should be going outside every day, at least to the gym. When you walk past somebody, like imagine this is some guy and you're walking this way, just say hello to this guy. Say hello. You don't need to start a conversation if it's too scary. Just walk past and say hello whilst you're walking past. Make eye contact, smile, etc. After you get comfortable doing that, now you can kind of start talking to other people. Maybe you talk to the cashier at the counter and just like start a conversation while he's scanning your items. And then you can work up again, do something else until eventually, wow, I can talk to anyone. Now that's a very simplified way on how to talk to new people. But that is not what is going to make you like new friendships, connections. If you want to do that, you need to do something called understanding your social compass. When you have a new conversation with somebody, you'll always have like a pull or some sort of repulsion to this topic of conversation, or maybe even the person himself. So let's say you're someone who's really interested in reading books, and the person you're talking to is talking about the library. Naturally, you're going to be really pulled toward this conversation. You'll want to keep talking. You'll have infinite conversation topics. You've read many books. You know exactly what to say. Now you're in this social flow state. It's not difficult. When you talk to somebody and you talk about something you have no interest in, let's say this guy is talking about Humpty Dumpty, whatever. He's talking about some bullshit. It's just going to be so much more difficult to stay present, pay attention to him, actually be enjoyable to talk to, because you'll kind of be in your own mind. What do I say now? What do I say next? Simply because it's not interesting to you. You don't know what to say. You don't know much about this topic. It's not that fun. If you talk about things that you want to talk about, the things that your social compass pulls you towards, you'll naturally be more fun to be around. You'll have more jokes to say. You'll just be a funner person in general. Again, top link in the description. If you check that out, you'll be able to learn how to talk to people even better and quicker with a step-by-step protocol and what to do. And I hope this video helped you. Remember, consistency is over a lifetime. Bye bye.